We're hanging out with the Dlaminis, currently based in Germany, Wandile Dlamini and Hadassa Dlamini. And they're walking us through their love story. The reason we are speaking to them this evening is because they have intertwined cultures. They have intertwined different spaces and kinds. And I say spaces not just in the context of physical, but that of culture, of heritage, of language. And they have found a way to make their love work. And they're sharing that with us this evening as we celebrate Heritage Day. Wandile, I heard that you were singing to the song there. Do you want to sing for us just so that we can know that you know the lyrics? Good and kind, sir.
I've been drinking alcohol for the past 5 days, so did you check on me?
Come
Yeah, no.
on.
Yeah, this is my showering voice. Yeah.
Oh, goodness. And let's get back into the conversations that
Come
have
on.
been. We were talking all things culture. And we sort of ended off there by the both of you sharing your experiences in the various countries. Of course, Hadassa, you speaking to your experience in South Africa. I mean, you've been here visiting since age 3, whereas Wandile, you've spent 7 years in Germany now. And with all of that being said, you both sound like you are well acquainted with these countries. So I'll be quizzing you because I like quizzes. And I want to make sure that, we're all in the same WhatsApp group when it comes to understanding our context better. But before we get into that, let's talk counsel. So there was this post on social media that spoke to quite a bit to expect when it comes to relationships, when it comes to being in an interracial, interethnic styled relationship. The realities of different languages, cultures, of the lack of acceptance. These playing a pivotal role in relationships. Let's start off with the personal before we look at the outer world, the inner world. How do we re-gear our mind to accept that your partner perhaps doesn't understand some of the things you do that are culture-based? I want you to take this one, Hadassa, first.
Yeah. I think what's important is communication. It's very important because I think you can talk through a lot. And I think it's okay that there's culture differences. It doesn't always have to be the same because it's also nice to experience the other culture and to bring them together. We enjoyed that, I would say. And I mean, we do have things where we, especially when raising kids, where we needed to speak about it. But that's why communication, I think, is the key. And if you go somewhere, if it's here in Germany or in South Africa, you should always be open to the other culture, but you also should obviously say if you feel uncomfortable with something. And I think there should be an understanding on both sides. That's what I would say, to be like, for me, this, I don't know, it's maybe a bit too much, and then speak it through. I think, those.
Speaking, I don't know. Should I add on that or?
Please do. And I just wanted to include the reality that I know that the Zulu culture is quite a stern one, and especially when it comes to marriage. So walk us through your gauge.
So one thing that for me that I've learned from my parents is that my wife comes before my culture, and that's not because I don't love my culture, but my dad has modeled this great. So from when I was a young age, I've always looked at how my dad is, especially let's say we're going like around family where there's like traditional stuff and from like how my mom serves my dad. My dad has always had this thing of like my mom didn't have to live up to this thing or this culture cultural standard. So for example, like my mom would be running around the whole day helping around the house, and my dad is there as well. He wouldn't be like, oh, but I haven't eaten, or you haven't done this, or you haven't done that. Like, I'm the man, you need to serve me. So for me, I've always admired that because I've always seen my mom practicing our culture, but out of freedom, but not as a rule of law. So I've always appreciated that, and so I've applied the same with my wife. She's my wife first before she's anything else. And so I make sure that my best friend is fine. If she's not comfortable about something, then she's allowed to say that. But I'm also well capable of being able to help in things maybe that I may expect of her or ask of her, and she's not able to do that culturally right now. To say, hey, I'm gonna do it myself, but not from a place of like, yeah, I'm the man of the house, and you need to do this. So as she said, like there's quite a good understanding between us, but also just a very strong friendship. We were friends for 1 year, and so in that year we got to know each other very well, and so I know her as my best friend before anything else. So I guess that out of that base of our love and our friendship, then we're able to know each other's cultures without any any pressure. And I think that culture, when it brings a certain pressure into a marriage, then the marriage loses its firmness. And so we wanted to put our marriage and our friendship first, and then out of that build ourselves in our cultures, in the way that we do things.
But I do think it's important to
Yes, of course.
understand
Yeah.
the other culture and to not ignore it completely.
Yeah.
Because that's what is love. Understanding the other
Yeah.
culture and being part of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we agree on that.
Sure.
Yeah.
So beautiful. I want to address the realities of some very strong differences between your respective cultures and traditions.
Yeah.
Can you share those with us? Something that's completely contrasting, like one is in Ethiopia and the other is in the bottom of the Antarctic Sea. Talk to us about those striking differences.
Like complete different.
Well, it's very difficult. To be completely honest, it's very, very difficult, because as I can say, for now, this is our 7th year of marriage, and we haven't really had things that have pulled us apart, because it's culture. It's culturally that's us being transparent. And if we could sit here and be like, oh yeah, they doing this. It's difficult. It really is a difficult question.
I mean,
I can't think of anything off the back of my head.
if you say the growing up of the families, it was different, and things that we experienced, like your family, like very loud and bubbly and
Yeah.
like always everywhere.
Yeah.
And my family, I don't know,
That's
it's like
really nice.
more quiet.
Yeah.
Like not so quiet. My family is not that quiet for Germans,
Yeah.
but like sitting around the table and
Yeah.
eating.
We
I
don't
mean,
sit around the table.
yeah, you eat
Those are
together though as
Yeah.
well. So I don't know. There's not like that big different. I mean,
Yeah.
maybe the biggest difference we had was when I came to Bulua and I had that experience.
Yes.
That
Yes.
was the
But
most,
but then in this
but it was
instance
not
again, she put herself into our culture. She cared about making people feel that she respects, and also that she wants and she's willing. And I've done the same with the language, with her grandparents, with the way that you guys celebrate birthdays. I've also loved to invest myself and grow in that area as well, so that I guess it gives me a better understanding of how you grew up and the way that you think as well. So there's not really.
This is a big part actually.
Maybe finances.
Yeah, like, but I have to say, I grew up, my dad really showing me about finances
Yes.
and sitting us down. And I think that was in the beginning a bit of a struggle
Yes.
because I was very like on finance, organizing everything.
And South Africans are spenders.
Yeah, and when he first came and he liked spending the money and I liked saving the money, I think that was actually a big thing.
That was a big thing.
That was a big
Yeah.
thing. And he learned fast to like how to use the money, saving and everything.
Yes.
And maybe me being a bit more loose,
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think that like although it's not a big cultural differences, I would say,
Yeah.
but that's something we struggle with.
Efficiency as well. Germans are very on time. My wife, if we're gonna go out tonight, so we'll get ready 2 days before. And so that we South Africans are very relaxed.
If you say you come at 15, you're there at 18.
Yeah, and so
That's
that's a big
that's
difference
true.
actually. That
There's
is
one
just
story I have to tell that you did in the beginning. My brother's coming. He came to pick us up for something. So
Yeah.
I'm saying to Wandy, because I know he's late, I said, my brother's coming in 1 hour. Please get ready. He's playing, he's chilled, everything. I'm saying my brother's here in half an hour. Please get ready.
just now.
He's still chilled. I said, my brother's here in 5 minutes. Get up and get ready. I think my brother's here. He gets up, he goes shower. It's a true story. He gets up when my brother was downstairs to shower. I was like,
no.
I've been telling you he's coming. How can you go shower now? And he showers for long. 10 minutes, 20 minutes. So yeah, that you got better than that, but that was like
Yeah.
irritating me in the beginning.
Sure.
Yeah.
Wow. And with all of those, I think what I'm hearing is that things were slightly more simpler in terms of integration. I mean, there are those practices, and I suppose that's part of culture as well. It's not just tradition per se, it's the things that you do on the daily, like the relaxed nature perhaps of what you would say, Hadassah, in the South African context versus a very, on the pulse kind of culture that you, Wandile, are now experiencing in Germany.
Yeah.
I want to tilt over to the conversation of the finances. And I'm saying this because I saw quite a few things on social media. One, there's this assumption that every foreign national, and by this I mean everyone of a different race outside the African continent, sometimes even in the context of the continent, is rich, right? And so stereotypes will come in from outside. Oh, you're marrying for the money. Oh, this. And it doesn't matter who's marrying who, right? I know that there's thoughts of that caliber in Eastern Africa specifically, where there's listen, if you want to live a stable life, move on to the other side, which is Europe, the other side of the world, if you will. Did you have any of those experiences and those stereotypes projected onto you when you did start dating, when you did get married? And how did you navigate those if you had to? And if you hadn't had to navigate those, what would you say to someone who is currently finding themselves in that predicament?
Yeah. So first of all, I would say it and say noise will always come from outside, but you need to learn to be grounded. And always keeping the main thing. And so for us, that has always been our light and our guide is God keep us grounded. But with that being said, in circumstances that we have, because trust me, that is a reality actually, it's just handling them with grace. And also I've actually had quite a revelation of how people actually think when people actually don't know, they don't have information. I know that sounds like, oh yeah, but obviously, but actually being in an interracial relationship, there's a lot of things that I hear from outside in our comments. We do a lot of social media, also meeting daily people on the streets, whether that would be South Africa. The questions that you get asked, it's like how do people actually come up with these ideas? So in terms of finances, we've heard a lot in comments. It'd be like, yeah, this guy must be rich. For us, it's been the other way around. For some reason, my own South African people think that I'm rich, and that's why she's married to me. But then you'll get also the few that think that Hadassa's my sugar mummy. So which is far from the truth. But we understand, and we are graceful in dealing with those experiences, and just understanding that actually people do not actually know or have first-hand experience of what's happening here. And so you try and explain to people, but then you don't have to explain to those that actually just intend those questions or those sayings to hurt you. Just move on.
I do understand though where it comes from. To be honest, I mean, it is a Germany. When it comes to finances, there's the differences. Like
as a country,
as a country, when you don't have money, you can really suffer in South Africa, like a lot. I mean, you can also in Germany, but there is options where you can get help, and food is not as expensive.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people also what heißt betteln on the street.
Struggling.
No, when they're beggars on the street.
Yeah, begging. Yeah.
Like, but when you compare it to South Africa, like you see them on every street.
Yeah.
It always breaks my heart when I go to South Africa. And here you have like a few. So it is a fact that
Yes.
in Germany you
Live standard of living.
the
is better.
standard of living, yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's so I grew up living I never missed anything. I have to be honest. I grew up, I never missed anything. I had everything I needed. We were not the rich family, but we had everything. We had a car, a house, we went to school, we had all the clothes. I could do all the activities that I wanted. And I know Wandi growing up, he didn't have that. So yeah, there's that differences. Yeah.
So maybe the stereotypes come from just maybe the broader view of like Germany must mean you're rich.
Yeah,
but actually when you live here, it's like that's the average.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not that you're rich in Germany. Exactly. I mean, you can obviously, but it's like you have an average good life.
Yeah.
Alrighty, 52 minutes after 11 p.m. Central African time. The Dlaminis joining us from Germany this evening. We're going to need to pay some bills. When we get back, we do that quick quiz and then we wrap up conversations.
South African Diaries, weekdays, 10 till midnight.
7 minutes before the show comes to an end, we are about to wrap up conversations with the Dlaminis who are joining us for the Heritage Day special, chatting all things love and romance this Wednesday because that is the focal point. And we're going to end off there with a quiz because, I mean, why not? Hey, why not? 3 questions each is what you'll be asked. I want to say it's multiple choice, but because we are time pressed, I'm just going to ask you the question. And my hope is that you will get them correctly. Wandile, I'm putting you on the hot seat first. You get 3 questions. I'm hoping you get 3 out of 3, but if not, good and kind sir, your wife will comfort you. Question number 1. What is the most popular traditional festival in Germany celebrated by and with beer, music?
Oktoberfest.
Oh, okay. Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, bum. Question number 2. Which German city is known as the financial capital of Europe?
Frankfurt.
And question number 3. We need to make this a little difficult. You're clearly getting them all too correctly, too right. Let me look for that. Question number 3. Germany is famous for its highway system with stretches that have no speed limit. What is it called?
Das ist die Autobahn.
Oh, well done, Wandile. 3 out of 3. Okay.
I'm scared now.
You can't be scared. You're going to do great. I believe in you, Hadassa. Question number 1. South Africa has 11 official languages. Which of these is not one of them? Zulu, Afrikaans, Swahili, or Xhosa?
It's one of the last two, but Swahili.
Well done! Yay! I was at the edge of my seat hoping you wouldn't say it wrong. Question number 2. What is the nickname for South Africa reflecting its cultural diversity?
The nickname?
Yes, there's a nickname that South Africa is called, particularly in South Africa, that reflects the multitude of cultures that you will find in South Africa.
It's not Iguinha, babe.
No. Oh my, a nickname? Do I know that?
No.
Oh.
Nah, there's no way she knows.
She said no. Okay. Can I give her a clue? Let me give her multiple choice.
Yeah, give me a clue.
Yes.
Option A, the cradle of humankind. B, rainbow nation. C, mother continent. Or D, big 5 land.
I heard that before. Rainbow or mother continent. I'm not sure.
Ma'am, you have to
One
make
of
a
those
choice. You have to make a choice.
I think the rainbow nation. Because
Come
you said there's so many different cultures. Yeah.
I'm
Let's go.
glad. Question number 3. Who was the first democratically elected president of South Africa in 1994?
Wait, isn't that
If you don't know this, then
Mandela? It's Mandela.
I heard the threat there. I heard the
It's Nelson Mandela, right?
Yes, absolutely. Well done. Look at you,
Right.
stunning, stellar people. 100% to the both of you. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. This has been such a pleasure.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
having
guys
us.
for having us. Thank you so much. God bless. Thank you.